What it do, y'all? This is your boy Share Space. Right, I want to talk to you guys about Into the Badlands, Season 3, Episode 5, Carry Tiger to Mountain. And we kind of saw a little bit of that, but right now I haven't watched the complete episode. I'm going to give you guys the first half. And really, we saw a flashback of how the widow and the connection between the widow and Baroness Chau, their history. Turns out, actually, the widow once used to work for the very first Chau Baron. And it turns out that's actually how she met Gaius, the Baroness Chau's brother, who she actually imprisoned for quite some time. But he was supposed to get his penance by killing Pilgrim, but he didn't. So he was escaped in one of the widow's trunks of her car. She didn't even recognize him until he said, "Don't you remember me, Minerva?" So we go back to the flashback into when she was at his party, his birthday party. You know, he said, "Hi, Minerva," and she actually ended up dropping, the drinks, and he actually ended up cutting his fingers, and she actually got reprimanded for that. She actually got like 10 lashings. In fact, his father told him, "Hey guys, you do it." He said, "I can't." So that's when his sister, the Baroness Chau, the current Baroness Chau, gave her 10 lashings, and it seems like she never forgot that because she thought maybe Gaius was gonna have the heart to actually stop his sister from doing that. I guess she never forgot that because even now the widow herself governs by the No Mercy Code, as depicted by the illustration of the flashback. And so it's really interesting to see that. But then we also see Bajie and Sunny make their way up to Hakara, the Black Witch. They make it up there, and Bajie reunites with his old master. And it turns out Bajie actually got his drinking habit from the witch. And he realized that after so many years, when he was at the monastery, there was nothing but all she ever told him was lies. But then we also find something out. Sunny actually has the gift himself, but it's buried deep within him. She even said, "You're the catalyst of the Dark One. Your son has it because you do, buried deep down within you." We get a flashback of Sunny's childhood when he was a kid, and his eyes turned black. It was the thundering lightning. So it was so powerful, it's stronger than her, Akara herself. She actually flew back against the wall, and she said, "Look, you're the reason for this. In order to heal your son," because she only healed him temporarily, she bathed him in some water, and the dark actually came out of him. And then that's when she said, "Look, the only way to cure your son of, the sick, the gift, is what they call it, is you have to look within yourself." And that's when we realize that Sunny himself has the dark side, but it's very deep within him, as I mentioned. And so now they have to figure out, okay, and actually moving on to other news as well, according to Bajie sent out a radio signal, but he got no connection. But it turns out the witch said, "Actually, are you sure about that? Because Pilgrim picked up your signal." And I'm actually glad that Sunny and Bajie learned about Pilgrim in this episode, because I never thought they would actually learn about him until like later on, but I'm glad that they learned about him. But the witch even said so herself, that he's ushering a new era of chaos in the Badlands. And so I think it's up to them to actually stop him. So maybe we actually get to see Sunny use his dark side. That's what I'm thinking. But then we also see Pilgrim. We saw, his right hand tell him, "Look, we're gonna have to get rid of Castor, because he's dying." Even she told him, like, "Look, there's nothing we can do for you." And we saw MK actually waking up to Nyx, and Castor immediately got offended by that. He said, "Oh, okay, so he's my replacement now. You gonna sleep in the same bed as you two?" And actually, MK actually tries to leave Azura, as Pilgrim likes to call it. But Pilgrim stops him. He said, "Look, man, I don't know how you feel, a son losing his mother is one of the greatest things ever, It's something that he should never have to bear alone." And so Pilgrim gives, he manipulates MK in a sense. He said, look, he gives him an ultimatum. "Okay, look, either you can stay here or you can leave. It doesn't really matter." But I'm thinking maybe MK will stay. Maybe, with forgiveness, maybe he can forgive Sunny for killing his mother. And maybe then they can get back on, good terms. Because right now it doesn't really look right. But then again, as the witch said, Pilgrim is trying to usher a new era of chaos in the Badlands. So I'm wondering how they're going to go about this. I truly am. And also, we saw Pilgrim step up to Baron Chau, right to her monastery, her place, with all her guards right there. He said, "Look, I'll need 1,000 men." She's like, "All my men are on the front lines." He said, "Oh, no. I need them now. I know you have a lot of fool." And she's like, and one of her clippers said, "Baroness." She's like, "I know. My brother's head is not in the pot," because we saw Pilgrim just kick all these heads up to the feet of Baroness Chau. And so I'm wondering, like, what the hell's really gonna go? What the hell's gonna go down now? I'm really curious. Hey guys, I'm back. So it actually turns out, in order for Gaius to save his own skin, he actually tells the widow Douglas, like, look, we can take my sister out for good together. I know how she moves, how she thinks. We can take her out. So maybe the widow might take him up on his chances, but then again, she may stab him in the back, literally, after all things are said and done. But it's kind of fucked up that you would think Gaius would actually want to kill his own damn sister, because he actually has a heart of gold, and possibly she's just too fucking ruined. But I can tell during the flashback when she was giving Minerva, the widow Douglas, her lashings, that she really wanted to outshine her brother, and that was her opportunity to do so. She always wanted to be her father's favorite, and I feel like maybe her father liked Gaius better because he was a boy, and maybe because she was a girl, maybe something like that, and she just really wanted her father's validation, and so forth. So maybe that's why she became the Baron of the Badlands in her sector, because her father possibly chose her, or maybe she killed her own father for the position. I don't know. I think we should really draw in. I hope next week's episode draws into that, honestly. I really do. But then we also learn that the widow Douglas, gives no fucks. The fact that Daniel came back like about a day or so, she's like, a mission like that doesn't make a day. He's like, all right, yeah, but I ran into some complications. Because remember, Nathaniel was actually with Sonny and Bajie and the blind assassins get the cavern and stuff like that. She never told her about that, but he said, look, she's like, I don't see Sonny's head along with. He said, me and him, we severed our beef pretty much. He has a son. His son, deserves a father. His son growing up as an orphan is not necessary. It's unnecessary. She's like, all right, I just want you to know, Nathaniel, when I see Sonny, I'll kill him yourself and I'll sever yours as well. Are we clear? Nathaniel, as she walks away, Nathaniel's like, oh, we're very clear. So it makes you feel like maybe Nathaniel's gonna actually kill the widow Douglas, and possibly, or maybe he may be killed in the take of Sonny instead of Sonny himself. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm theorizing right there. Maybe that's what's gonna happen towards the end of the season. Who knows? But it's pretty interesting so far. So I also think, given, the sneak peek of next week's episode, I saw Pilgrim talk to his enlightened followers, telling them about Azura and how powerful it is, how Var can transform them into powerful beings, something of that variation. And I gotta say, I gotta admire Pilgrim's hustle. I gotta admire him for that. My thing is, I wonder how everything's just gonna spill over, because now that we know that Sonny himself, has the gift in him as well, buried deep within him. His son is temporarily cured as well. That isn't unless Sonny, realizes that, hey, I have the gift as well. Maybe I can just transfer his gift more power into me as well. Because, the fact that, Sonny's a catalyst kind of baffles me, but at the same time it doesn't. I kind of felt like there was something special about him. Not that he's just naturally good with the sword and all his weaponry and hand-to-hand combat, but I always felt like, well, what if Sonny had the gift? I always wondered that since season 1. And so to see that he actually has it buried within him is really saying something. So my only questions are Sonny and Bajie going to go to war with Pilgrim and his people? That's possible. And that's also, and I'm hoping that maybe MK does not feud with Sonny as well, knowing that now, hopefully Pilgrim taught him how to forgive Sonny and they can get back on the same page as I mentioned before. But who knows? We'll probably have to see that. But this is your boy Speaks. That's what I got for you guys today. I apologize that I couldn't see the entire damn episode because it's an awful last connection. But this is your boy Speaks. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. I love you guys. God bless.